This episode is brought to you by Aloette. I am so excited to offer a free restorative enzyme peel sample. If you want this, you'll just go to peelsample.com. You guys, this is the one that you put on dry skin. You rub it in a circular motion for about a minute, and you're going to see dead skin, like visibly right there, tangible results after a minute. You can use this on your face. You can use it on your calloused hands from that barbell, and you can use it on your running feet. So whether you've been running, lifting, or momming, this is an awesome product. Again, I want you to go to PEEL sample.com and request your free sample. All right, it is Saturday, January 30th, and I am in the car on the way to the North Carolina Fat Bleep 50K. So for those of you who don't know what a Fat Bleep race is, and I mean, come on, use the conclusions you are jumping to. I don't want to curse because this is not an explicit podcast. But these types of races are essentially where groups of runners will come together and do races traditionally above 26.2 miles, that marathon distance. Very popular in the ultra community. And the idea here is that groups can come together, and although sometimes, like today, they're going to be sanctioned within a park system or something like that, you don't need like closed roads, the Department of Transportation, all the bells and whistles of like a race directing company. It is very, very simple, and it's for people who just want to get together and run. There are recorded times at these races, so your race is, recorded, but there aren't like medals or awards or t-shirts or anything like that. So these races do not appeal to folks who do it for the bling or do it for the swag or need a really big crowd. But here's the thing, that's not me. I have been running for almost 20 years now. I did my first marathon in 2003, and I've really grown to love the small races. Trail races really appeal to me because for the most part, a lot of the participants are out there for the love of running, not necessarily to achieve a personal record. I am doing this race simply because I wanted a race on the calendar. I saw it as an opportunity shortly after I did the Nutcracker 12 hour. And what I have done for training and preparation up until this point is what is referred to in the running world as a reverse taper. A reverse taper is essentially where you take a week of solid rest and then you pick up on your training schedule, like from where you were. You go up a couple of weeks. In my case, it was 3 weeks. I would steady add some volume, and then I tapered right back down. I'm not in peak condition today. I'm not expecting a personal record or anything like that. For what it's worth, my personal record at 50K is a 4:59 set back at Equinox in Fairbanks, Alaska. If I can come out of today with like five and a half, probably more like 5.5 hours, I am a-okay and pleased as punch. I am just excited to be out here running today. Y'all know I have more t-shirts than I would ever need, and I'm not necessarily somebody who displays medals or trophies or anything like that. I am out here to run. I'm going to do it for 50 kilometers, which is just shy of 32 miles, and I'm excited to get after it. Something else I want to mention before it falls out of my head. My husband deserves a shout out, and he is absolutely the best. So on race morning, I always try to make it where I can sleep in as late as possible. I've already packed the car. I've got everything, right, like ready to roll and get out the door. I had about an hour and a half drive this morning, and so I'm sleeping in as late as I possibly can. My husband had already taken my van to fill up the tank with gas. He had it running so it was warm because it is a brisk 20 degrees outside right now. That way I could roll out of bed and then get into a warm vehicle for the drive. Isn't that the best? Let's hear it for that Trey. He's wonderful. Okay, it's been a minute since I've done one of these, and traditionally, like during the 100 mile, during a couple of 12 hours when I've done an audio race recap, I've dipped in every so often. This time I only had one time that I dipped in, and actually I think I didn't have anybody to tell, and I just needed to say something in a voice memo. So here is where you're going to hear me trying to talk myself down after, oh, that's right, I got lost. This was its trail, okay? And so it was 3 laps of 10 some odd miles. I ran almost 12 miles the first lap. I straight up got lost. So that's what you're going to hear right now. And this is the only audio that I took during the race. Okay, it is mile 11 and a half. I just got lost. I'm going off for my second lap right now. I don't know where I missed the turn, but I did. So, here's to going around the second of 3 laps without getting lost and doing additional miles. Whoa, Nelly, right? So I was able to refocus and get out there, and for the next 2 laps, I did not get lost. This is something I'm really, really proud of, and it's something I've had to come to as far as maturity as a runner. About a decade ago, I tried a triathlon. I promise I'm coming around full circle. With a triathlon, you've got a swim, bike, and a run. Well, I'm not a strong swimmer, and so I got in the water, and of course the swim went horribly. Well, here's the problem with that. At the time, I then wasn't able to do well on the bike or the run, which I'm pretty good at, because I was already so mentally defeated from the swim. I let it leak into the rest of my race. And then today, it was the entire opposite. I mean, that first lap, hello, I was lost. I ran extra, but I was able just to leave it, refocus, get out there, and ended up having a really good day. A personal record. I was the first female overall, and I feel really fantastic about my performance today. So I guess today what I learned from this race was when something goes wrong, and I mean, it will, right? That I've been running for a long time. Eventually this was going to happen. When something goes wrong, have the maturity and the ability to just refocus, regroup, and give it your best for the remainder of the time. Thank you so much for listening to this audio recap. One more note before I sign off here, because I know you guys are going to call me out on this. Yes, I drank Fireball. I drank alcohol. I took a shot at, well, it was an entire airplane bottle. I took a shot at mile 7. Did that make me get lost? No, y'all, I don't think so. But as I keep going back in my head on this, I don't know, maybe if I took it around 7 and then in theory made the wrong turn around mile 9 on that first lap, I don't know. Yeah, maybe so. Still, no regrets whatsoever. But I'm on Instagram as Run Lift Mom Pod, and I did mention that Fireball shot. It has been quite the little joke among my running circle friends, and that is what I count on you guys for. To give me the hard time when I need it, to joke about things, to make light of things. That is why we love social community online. If we are not connected over on Instagram, again, I'm Run Lift Mom Pod. We talk about all things running, lifting, and motherhood, to include racing and taking shots when you're just feeling it on the course, even if it makes you get lost. Thank you so much for listening to this audio recap. And until I get into your earpiece again, remember, for while bodily training is of some value, godliness is of value in every way, as it holds promise for the present life and also for the life to come. That's from 1 Timothy 4:8, and this has been the Run Lift Mom Podcast.
Thank you for listening to Run Lift Mom. This show is sponsored by Zaya Active, Audible, and Radiant Nutrition.